Hi, Tracy here with BibleJournalingMinistries.com, and today I'm doing a canvas using the This Is Love Illustrated Faith Bible Journaling Kit. Yeah, I know that this is supposed to be used for Bible journaling, but I love to do other craft projects, and so I wanted to show you that you could do other things besides Bible journal with these fun kits. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to need is a canvas. So what I have here is just one that came in an Artist's Loft 2-pack. This is a 5x7 canvas. And I'm going to need that, so I have this. I do not think it is prepped, so I probably should add some gesso to it. And then I have some acrylic paints. I'm using Blick acrylic paints today, aqua, yellow, green medium, and dark green deep. And then a brush is what I have. And then I have my kit. I may be using some other pieces. If I do, I will let you know where to get those in the links below. But for the most part, this is what I need. And of course, I'm going to be using some gesso. And the gesso I'm going to be using is just this brand called Liquitex Basics Acrylic. I actually do not recommend this for Bible journaling. I just happened to run out. I ran to the store. This was the only one they had, so I got it. And I don't recommend it for Bible journaling, but I do recommend it for the canvas. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to take a little mat and just cover up my surface because this can get pretty messy sometimes. And the first thing I'm going to do is just apply some gesso to my canvas, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that gesso real quickly with a brush. Whoa. You can also use a scraper if you want to, but I'm just going to use one of these little distress brushes that I have here. I find they work just fine when it comes to putting the gesso on the canvas. So one layer is fine. You just want something that will allow the paint to adhere. One layer is just fine. Maybe during this process we'll add other things besides what I showed you. Maybe we'll do some texture. I don't know. It'll be just a fun mixed media project just to do together. Okay, I'm going to let this dry for a bit. You could do the sides too if you decide you want to paint the sides as well. And this can get pretty messy, but my hands are already messy. I was painting some furniture today and got my hands all different colors. So don't worry about me, worry about you. Okay, so let's let that dry. And while that is drying, I am going to check out the different kit items that I think I want to put in here. So I'm thinking, and this is such a cute kit, by the way. Love it. I'm thinking what I want to do here is I wanted to use one that has a note card on the back. So this one I think would be great for this layout, although I want to emulate this color scheme in the background. So I'm going to use this one. And then I think what I'll use is some of these, maybe a couple of these hexes I think would be really fun to use. I have a picture of my kids and my niece and nephew that I want to use here. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of lay this out real quickly. Maybe a hex over here, hexagon here, maybe a hexagon over here, maybe the darker color. And we can finalize this later. And maybe some of these cute hearts here and there. So real quickly, that is just like the fastest way to kind of create this layout. Like just start throwing things on there and seeing what you like. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use the heat gun to speed this gesso up. I'm going to fast forward through this part and we're going to go ahead and get started with the painting. Okay, this is dry, so the next thing I need to do is just grab a little palette here. This is just a Ranger, cut up Ranger craft mat that I have. I'm just going to put some paint down and just start to grab it. You don't need a lot for this one. This is a really small canvas, so you don't need like a lot of paint here. brand new. Just a little bit of that one. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take a brush and I'm just going to kind of emulate this little layout here. Not copying exactly, but being inspired by it, of course. And it has a little bit of blue over here. And I tell you, some right here, I think. And you can go over the edge too if you want. I'm going to go over the edge just because I want to use up this paint anyways. Okay, the next thing I want to do is add some of the green. And you know, I'm not even going to clean my brush because I'm blending these colors in. So, and if you need to add water to your acrylics to get them to move a little bit, that's fine, you can. This is not going to be an art piece to sell. This is an art piece for my living room for Valentine's Day. So I'm not even worried about like if it's perfect or not perfect, but this is going to be a real quick project here. I'm just going to bring this down a little bit. Again, I'm not trying to copy the layout, but I want to, it's, you know, I want to be inspired by it, so it's pretty close. And a little bit here. Maybe some more of that blue in here maybe. Okay, and now I'm going to bring in some of this green here. Cute, cute, cute. I could leave some white, but I don't want to. I'm not going to. Good enough. Now remember, this is just going to be the background. So it's not all going to show once I put that card on top of this. Okay, so we've got some real cool colors going on. See if I'm happy with it. Okay. So far I'm happy with just the base. And remember, your base is not going to be seen a lot, so don't spend a lot of time trying to get it perfect. What you don't want is fingerprints in it like that. So, but don't try to be perfect. Just get some paint on the canvas and don't worry about it. Okay, I'm going to heat this up and move on to the next step. Okay, the canvas is somewhat dry. The edges still aren't dry, but we can still proceed with our project now. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and attach this card. It says, "We know, dear brothers and sisters, that God loves you and has chosen you to be his own people." 1 Thessalonians 1, chapter 1, verse 4, NLT. So I'm going to place this down. Before I place it down, I'm going to look and say, do I like what it looks like right now, these colors? I'm actually not totally thrilled with these colors so far. I want to add a little bit of blue, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Once I finish adding the blue, I'm going to add this on top of that. What I'm going to be using is called a matte gel, but you can use anything that you have, any kind of adhesive or glue that you have on hand. Feel free to use that. I prefer the matte gel because I find it adheres it very well, so it's entirely up to you whether or not you use something like this, but I am going to use it, and you use whatever you have on hand. So I'm going to speed up this part. To apply the matte gel, you're just going to apply it just like butter. So like you're buttering a piece of toast, just like that. You don't need a ton of it, but you do need enough for it to cover the back of it. Okay, so far so good. Project is looking great. I'm going to go ahead and add some washi tape right now. just to the edge of this right here. And yeah, I'm going to wrap it around. Okay. This is still a little wet there. Okay. That's cute. Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and add some of my embellishments here, my ephemera. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one here. And I'm going to apply that again with the gel medium. You can even use pop dots at this point if you want to start popping things out, but at this point I'm not ready to pop anything out yet. So I'm just going to apply the gel medium to this piece. A little bit much. And I am a messy mixed media artist. Okay, get that down. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, I'm going to add this piece, I think, because these guys are going to be here. So right about there is probably, yes, right there. I keep a piece of cloth nearby me because my fingers get really messy and dirty. Now this is a matte gel, so it's not going to dry high gloss. It's going to dry matte, so I'm not worried about it if the gel gets a little bit over the hexagons. I'm not worried about that. Okay, I did print this out. I use my HP Sprocket. This is a little printer that I use. I have a video on that on YouTube on how to use that. But I printed that out. And now I'm just going to peel off this because it's a sticker. And I'm going to peel in place. Right about here, I'm thinking. Okay, I'm just going to put that sticker there. Looks like I got a little glue on Ashton's face. Sorry, Ashton. Anyway, good enough. Okay, and now I want to start to pop some of these out. So I have these little pop dots here. And I definitely want to pop that out, but before I pop that out, I want to add some hearts to this. Let's see what other hearts came in this set. Lots of hearts in this set, so there's plenty to choose from if you want to do a project like this. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, that one's going to go there. Just a little bit on the back. I find that the gel mat, the gel medium dries pretty quickly. So right about there is where that's going to go. And let's get that to go down. Okay. And I'm going to pop that out. So just use a couple of these little pop dots here. This is so cute. how adorable. And I think I want to do, kind of cool to get one kind of coming off the page, but maybe pop that one out too. This is my process. I don't know what I'm doing. This is kind of the art part of it. You just go with it. Okay. I have a little bit of paint over here that I'm not sure I'm excited about being there, so I am kind of thinking about that while I'm working on the rest of this project. Yeah, that goes there. And you can for sure add texture and stuff if you want to your project. You don't have to copy what I'm doing. You can if you want to. It's totally up to you, but you don't have to. That's too much. I am thinking I want one more heart in this project, and I want it close to here, so we're going to do that. Maybe this one. No, it's too much like the other ones. Okay. At this point, I am just going to go ahead and add some texture to my canvas. I'm not really thrilled with the way it's looking, and I think that's what happens a lot whenever we're doing art projects. Sometimes you have something and you're like, wah, wah, this is not really what I wanted to have happen. So I would just encourage you to keep with your piece, and I think that you will be pleasantly surprised if you keep at it. So what I did was I added some texture paste using the Liquitex modeling paste, but you can use any texture paste you have. Make sure that you're masking off any areas you don't want the texture paste to be on, otherwise you will have a hard time trying to pull it off as soon as it dries. Texture paste dries really quick, and it is hard when it dries, so make sure you take that baby wipe and wipe that stencil off as well. After I am done adding a few of these little texture dots here, I'll just add a few more, and until I'm happy with where I am, I will just keep adding to the project. Remembering to always scrape off the texture that you don't want before it goes dry, because once it gets dry, it is pretty hard to get off. You can see me scraping off some of these pieces here as well. Then I go ahead and do some dry brushing. Dry brushing is just getting a little bit of paint on top of your paintbrush. You're not adding any water. It's really dry, and you pretty much don't have much paint on your paintbrush when you do this technique. And I just take that paint brush and just swipe it over the texture to give that texture a little color. And then I go ahead and grab my Memento dye ink, and I'm going to do a dry brushing technique on the sides as well to create some distressed look. So you can see here, I just swipe it across that ink pad, and I just swipe it across the canvas too. So that just kind of gives me a nice grungy, distressed look. It's really simple and easy to do. Just make sure you don't load up that brush with too much medium or too much ink. Otherwise you get a lot of brush strokes, which I didn't really want to have. Again, I just wanted to add a couple more pieces of ephemera here. So I add the word loved. And then I go ahead and look for a stamp that I have, which is an ampersand stamp. I wanted to go find that, so I had to go leave the camera here for a bit and go get that. I add the little heart with a little gel medium, just like we were doing that before with that matte gel medium. And then I figured, I could be done right now if I wanted to. It says loved and chosen, but it doesn't actually have and. So I thought, well, I need that and. So I went ahead and found a stamp. The stamp that I have, I can't remember, I think it's Graphic 45. It's an old stamp. And I just went ahead and grabbed it. And I used my Illustrated Faith tip-ins that came in the mail from DaySpring. This is from the You Are Loved collection. I just wanted to use a coordinating color. So I just stamped it on the tip-in and started to cut it out and decided I didn't really like that one. After I started cutting it out. Again, part of the art process is liking things and not liking things and redoing things until you find something that truly speaks to your heart. So you will see that I actually come in and I actually do the stamp again. And then I come back and cut it out before I place it down. This one I was really much more happy with. I think the other one just wasn't inked enough. And I just fussy cut around the edge with some scissors. And then I place it down and call that done. Okay, I finished the project. I am in love with the Loved and Chosen canvas created by the Illustrated Faith This Is Love kit. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little demonstration, and if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I am happy to answer them. Feel free to visit our website at BibleJournalingMinistries.com for your free Bible Journaling for Beginners course. It's absolutely free. Just go ahead and navigate over there and be sure to opt in for your free courses. All right, you have a fabulous day now. Okay, bye.